Well, hello friends, Josevich here. Welcome back to some Hearthstone as we continue playtesting our super fun little Elemental Shaman here that we got going on. We hope our opponent coins something out. Coin out a nice little 2-1 for us. No? That's okay. We're going to go ahead and overload ourselves, get a board going, as we do have the Jade package in our Elemental Shaman right now. And that overload, sure, maybe not great, but we will have the Hot Spring Guardian coming out a little bit later. Frothing Berserker's obviously the absolute worst card for us to be seeing there, as we don't have the coin, or Jade Lightning even, to be able to be getting that coin out at any point. So we're just going to hold off on basically doing anything. This is a horrible turn for us. There's no denying that, basically, because we need to Jade Lightning this down next turn. And I think our misplay here was basically in our mulligan. I don't usually show the mulligans because it's me just sitting there waiting for our opponent to mulligan. But I think this matchup, we really need to mulligan hard for the Firefly and the Galaka Crawler, which we've teched in basically for exactly this matchup, and there's really no point in having it unless we're going to be having it. And this is looking like it could be horrible for us, but that's okay. We're gonna try and push through here. There's still a chance. There's still a chance. We got some healing in hand. We'll remove some of these minions. And we will be able to heal up next turn, which will be nice. We could potentially heal up and AoE, but I don't think that's going to happen since this is a 3-4 on board. I don't think that's really going to be need to be have 1 damage dealt to it. That's an okay result. Oh, and oh boy, now we really this is now honestly a little bit of a decent enough result. We are going to heal. It's still dead to board. Let's do this first. Let's see, if we get a taunt, that's the best. That's kind of... we can go ahead and play the Tar Creeper. I think that's better simply because it does trade with this. I mean, the 2-4 obviously has the 3 health attached to it, the Battle Cry. But I think this is better because it does trade with the board right now, which has some value, I think. And then next turn we'll be able to Hot Spring Guardian. And I'm expecting Flame Tongue the Leper Gnome into something at least. If we get hit with the big... Well, actually, the Dragon's out of here. The thing that we used to have to play around with the Pirate Warrior was this 15 health mark, because we'd get hit with one of those big dragons, which would turn into a 6 mana 9/9, which is always terrifying. Oh my. That is a card for sure. So this is going to be absolutely terrifying. We don't have any real way to be able to activate this. Oh, except obviously this. We probably just heal up, right? What is this? This is just a 3? We could hero power. I don't know if there's any real value in hero powering. We still basically just get 1 minion. We'll keep the Leper Gnome alive in the event that we need to Flame Tongue. And we do have this Flame Tongue Bloodlust combo. Not that we expect to get to the point where we're going to be using that. Oh, that's pretty bad, actually. So, whenever this minion takes damage, their hero takes 3 damage. So if we have some sort of pinging ability, this is pretty strong. But because we don't, we're in trouble here. I think we basically just do this. Maybe we should have Flame-Tongued. I think this is the way we needed to do it, to be honest with you. And I think we're dead. This is 12, 13, 14, 15. There's a chance, but all our healing's already been played. That's now 16 damage. Oh, there's actually a chance that we do win here, isn't there? With that Bloodlust Flame Tongue. No, it's going to be Flame Tongue Bloodlust. There's no other way, because we're dead to board. We're going to do it here. This is +3. This is going to be the least amount, so we're just going to go here. And there's no point. This is the lowest damage, and this also guarantees a couple extra face damage. And that looks like a big old lethal to me. Wow, I can't believe we pulled that off, considering how poorly we mulliganed, and I don't think we drew particularly well, but maybe this just goes to show that this deck might actually have some power and staying power in the meta, which would be super cool, especially as we beat Pirate Warriors. And it looks like we are going to be racing against an OTK from our Mage friend here as they try to open the Waygate and get that Time Warp spell. So we are definitely going to be saving our heals for as long as possible, I think. This is an okay trade, so the deck we're playing against is kind of absolutely terrifying. I kind of want to coin out the Tar Creeper, but I don't think it does too much. We're just going to trade here, play our Crawler, and continue on with our lives. The issue here is a lot of these Mage decks are really full OTK. There is an OTK combo. I will be making a video with that deck a little bit later. Oh, this is an interesting choice. But I guess it absolutely works towards the quest, right? You need to play spells for this Mage quest. You need to play spells that didn't start in your deck. This generates spells that did not start in your deck. So why not? We're going to go ahead and get rid of that minion as we continue to build our board here. We're going to try and tempo ourselves into a win. A lot of these decks will run things like Ice Block, an Ice Barrier, maybe even a Vaporize. Oh, that's a nice card, actually. I really like Arcanologist. It helps thin out your deck and helps you get through it just a little bit faster. We're going to go ahead and Stone Shaper. This attack is nothing because obviously the Tar Creeper is a defensive minion completely, and that's fine. So next turn, I'm not really sure what we're going to do. I am tempted to coin out a Ms. Blackpaw just to put on a little bit more pressure. Because we have the small elemental activator, we can activate it basically before Kalamos, or even wait until after Alakir, just to have really 2 big turns back to back. And depending what our opponent does, I really like actually throwing out Ms. Blackpaw, simply because it's a lot of pressure on board that's going to have to be dealt with. And even if it just eats a Polymorph or something like that, that does slow down our opponent, which is very nice. Because we like slowing down our opponents. And was that in their deck? Okay, they're still at 0, which makes me think we got a chance. And so we obviously didn't test for Mirror Entity and play around that whatsoever, but that's definitely not something that I expect to see in these sorts of decks. I'm expecting this to be fully OTK. I don't know what to really say about, like, you know, at rank 8, does that tell us anything? If people are going to be playing more OTK, it's only a few days into Ungoro at the time of me recording this. Primordial Glyph is an absolutely great card for this quest. It's, you know, you get to choose somewhat of a spell, and then you also get to have it discounted. So you're going to be able to complete your quest that much easier, and you have a bit of flexibility in exactly how you are achieving that and how you're actually completing the quest. So there is a bit of... And Blood Mage, and into, 3 damage to all minions. Oh no! That's okay, we do have a little bit still on board. Obviously that is now the first quest that our opponent has completed. Babbling Book. That's also, you know, kind of a standard card that you would include in this type of quest deck. We're not able to do anything in terms of activating. I'm okay, honestly, Flame Elemental now, and then I will heal next turn if it's needed. 2 is not equal to 1 here against Mage, so I'm going to use Face to punch in. And then we'll attack that way, because if we'd attacked in with the 1-2, this would have gotten pinged down this turn, which maybe has some validity in maybe the fact that we should do that. But I also don't like doing that because then we're kind of limited, you know. I'd rather have more minions on board. I'm expecting this to be Ice Block, but I'm also expecting Mage to not have that much in the way of... What was that in their deck? I need to stop clicking so quickly so we can actually figure that out. And that's pretty good. We'll be able to play the Stone Shaper here. We hope we hit a healing to save that one. That's actually kind of... This could be important, actually. This could be an important turn. Getting that healing totem could actually be good, so this doesn't just get pinged down right away. I am tempted to Alakir next turn, simply because it forces... Oh, boy. Well, never... Actually, no. Oh, you know what? We could Alakir. Now, this is one of those things that kind of makes me feel like we're setting up for... Because we can Alakir double attack. I don't know how bad that actually is, though. We know this is a Babbling Book card, so there's no way of knowing what's going on. I don't like losing this board. I think we lose this board, we lose the game. As long as we don't misclick here, we're okay. Make sure we kill this. And then we'll see, you know, we'll see what our opponent has if they were setting up for some sort of Flame Strike ping turn. Obviously, Alakir's going to hang out with us for a little bit, so that's kind of cool. Our opponent's basically focused on removing our board now, and that's why I felt like we needed to defend it. Ooh, Bringing life. Bringing life. Okay, so we have the option of healing for 3. I don't think that's enough. I think we can Primal Lord. The issue with Primal Lord is we're not able to trade into this easily. We have to waste a lot of resources trading into our good friend Alex Straza, which I think might be a viable option, though. Because if we don't do this, I mean, if all we do is heal up to 18... can we pop? We heal up to 18. What can our opponent have in terms of burn? They still have a couple fireballs. And you know what? Maybe we do heal to 18. Maybe 18's enough. There's no ice lances anymore. I'm trying to think, how much burn can you actually have from hand? Couple fireballs, it's 12. Then we just heal up the next turn, which maybe seals the game, to be honest with you. Hold on, how does this happen? This becomes 5, 6, 7. Ugh, it's still a poor trade. We'll Maelstrom Portal, I don't mind. We need to remove this. So we do it this way. And then we punch a bit of damage to the face here. And we're not going to play our last totem because we realized that last game. Is this a damage or buff? Oh, it's a buff. That's nice. So depending what our opponent does, I mean, if they were trying to set up some sort of 2-turn, this obviously interrupts that. I don't think you can do 18. At least with any combos that I know of. And they still haven't finished their quest. If they finished their quest, I would have been a lot more tempted to actually play Primal Lord. Primal Lord? That's not much of a tongue twister. I shouldn't struggle with that. Random mage spell to hand. Okay, so we could still get hit with a Flame Strike and be in bad shape. We could get hit with another Blizzard. There's lots of bad things that can be happening to us, don't get me wrong. But I think that this was the way that we were setting up basically to be able to win. So I think this was kind of I definitely think this was the correct way to be playing this. It'll be interesting to see what our opponent does. Obviously with Mage, they have a few discovered cards. We could still kind of be in bad shape here. Oh, Medivh's Valet, that's a really strong one. Into Polymorph? Oh, Frostbolt, that's less bad. Deal 2 damage. Oh, that's actually kind of really good. And pinging down. I still can't believe that we have that much. 5. Okay, so we can pop now, which is nice. No, do we wait? Or do we just try and pop now? How much? Hold on, let me count. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so we're going to go over. So we're going to Blaze Caller face. And then we're going to pop at 1 if we can. Does the math work out? Yeah, the math totally works out for popping at 1. And so this is the way we're going to do this. We pop at 1. That's fine. We expect the ice block. There's no Reno now. If there was Reno with the Time Warp, I think that would be ridiculous. And now the question is, do we want to try and clear the board? Or do we just want a hero power? I think we'll try and do this just in the event. And we do still have to go. And because we only overloaded 2 there, which means we still allow the Primal Lord to come out next turn and do some direct face damage because we did play an Elemental last turn. So we were able to keep that Elemental chain really going nicely, which is kind of cool. Kind of really cool in my opinion. I mean, our opponent's obviously just going to be looking for their other ice block, but I think at this point it might be 2... Whoa, that wasn't in your deck? Oh, dang, from the Shimmering Tempest, that's pretty good. Another one, I mean, they have to be looking for their heal... I mean, their ice block basically to stall the game out one more turn. And I'm not really sure what our opponent could be getting at this point to be winning. I haven't been keeping... I know there's one more non-mage card, one more discovered card in hand, but I don't know what else is going on here. I know one of them is, but I haven't been paying absolute attention to what's going on. But I think basically this is the way you can expect this deck to play against Mage. You need to be able to protect your board. Oh, jeez. So we expect that, right? Little cute flame elemental? A little cute one? We expected that, obviously. The issue now is that we don't have an activation here. So our Primal Lord actually is not activated any longer. Well, there we go. And there's some direct damage for us. Actually, I really regret having hero powered. I don't know why I did that again, because our opponent could just... Well, if they blizzard or something, though, we'll be able to... It clears the board. We should not have hero powered. That was a misplay. Because if it's Frost Nova now, then we could potentially still lose if it's a Frost Nova here. Because they have a whole bunch of cards right now. And they have not played any of their Sorcerer's Apprentice, which is basically what they're looking to do. Yep. We could lose so badly right now. Oh my. I think this is a loss now from what we just did. Or because of what we just did. I can't believe we just did this. This is absolutely terrifying. Hex is good. I would have enjoyed a Hex last turn. I wonder if they'll be able to open the way. I don't think they'll be able to cast enough and Waygate. Maybe they will. Maybe we just lost because of that misplay. That was a huge misplay. I should have left this open to be able to do some sort of be able to play something. Oh well, we'll see. If that's another ice block, well then we're going to lose for sure. They could hit some sort of like flame strike. They can't. It's going to be hard for them to remove this and take an extra turn. Is what I'm thinking though. So now this is another secret. Pinging that down. Oh my, 10 mana. That's going to be 8. Oh, this is a loss. Fantastic. All because we hero powered there basically. That was completely on us. For not leaving the board clear and leaving space for Fire Elemental when we knew we were going to be able to and have to ping there. Oh, that's really sad. And here is a matchup that I don't necessarily, but particularly, I should say, look forward to. In the Rogue, and I'm expecting it to be a Rogue quest. Oh my. What is this? Straight up Pirate Rogue? That's not something that... Oh, maybe this is just purely aggro Rogue. And if it is, I think we're kind of okay. I feel like Maelstrom Portal here. Our opponent didn't play quest, but they didn't mulligan this first card either. So I'm genuinely confused as to what it is that we're going against. This could be Miracle. This could be Water Rogue. Water Rogue is kind of the new popular aggro rogue that's out there. And so I think we should do okay. Maybe that was a little bit... Maybe that Maelstrom Portal shouldn't have been played, to be honest with you. What the heck? Razor Petal. I don't like the look of that. I'm going to go ahead and Flame Elemental here. I feel like we should take this out. Not because I want to. And so the reason I played this is because there are some... I mean, we could top deck this Tolvir Stone Shaper, which is our 4 mana 3/4. Which, if you played an Elemental the turn before, you get Taunt and Divine Shield, which would be super powerful for us. However, we also have basically this Elemental activation change for charge. Go dormant. Play 4 cards in a turn. We are going to have to get rid of that. The issue is we're definitely going up against Miracle. So we now have basically a nice 6, 7, 8 curve, but we need to get there. And I'm just going to get rid of this. And knowing the fact that it is a 5/3, we'll be able to Fire Elemental. I'm not expecting our opponent. That's just a cool... I wonder if it does take up a space. Our opponent can only play 6 cards. So if our opponent does play 4 cards in a single turn, the 5/3 comes back. And it's there basically the rest of the game now, which is cool. That it's interesting then that our opponent got it out very early, right? Hallucination, that's a reasonable card. They get to discover a card from our class, which is kind of unfortunate in the fact that it's discover and not just that random mechanic. Well, unfortunate for us, but I think it is better for the game overall, to be honest, because now we know our opponent took a... Oh, that's a really cool... This is a really, really cool animation. I haven't seen this before. I'm sorry that I'm talking about something that might just be kind of whatever for some people. But, so it looks like our opponent's looking to rejuvenate or bring their Sherizan Seed back to life. They've got a couple low-costing cards in their hand. Razor Petal definitely helps towards that. One more card and their 5/3 comes back. Destroying a pirate. Guess what? They got a 5/3 back on the board. That's a really cool mechanic. A really cool bit of card art, I think. The issue is Flame Tongue does absolutely nothing. Taunt's basically the best thing we could look for here. So the next couple turns, I think we're set up reasonably well. We'll be able to Fire Elemental and get rid of the 5/3. We will then be able to Blaze Caller. We'll then be able to Calamos. So I think we're sitting in pretty good shape. That obviously slowed our opponent down a little bit. Although this card is now discounted, obviously. But because we have the next couple turns kind of... Oh my. Did we just lose? We lose unless we get a hex, basically, right? And not only a hex, we need multiple hex. Because now it's going to come back. Oh, hex is basically the only thing that we can do to remove this. And then even then, we're going to have a second one. Oh, this is terrifying. The good thing is, though, however, this is a really, really... I don't even know how we're going to win. Oh my goodness, that's a good card for this deck as well, right? Well, I mean, it got discounted. That's why I was able to get played so easily here, but... That's not a full... Is it? That's just 3. Be out of cards, be out of cards. No prep, no prep. This is terrifying, that's for sure. We just lost, right? Where did we go wrong here? I'm really curious. What happened here with this game? What happened in the early game? Did our opponent just have a sweet draw? I'm trying to figure this one out. This is, Sherizan is, if you draw really well with it, there's no doubt about it. It's a super powerful, impactful card. Uh-oh. Evis? Just Evis face. I think that's lethal. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's close enough. I guess this is also kind of that half measure safety. I wonder, this probably does not get affected by devolve though, right? I'm also curious as to what we think is better right now. Like, do we think it's going to be better to clear our opponent's board? Or to heal up? We'll find out though. We got options, right? Restore 12 or all 3 to all. That still stays alive. So that's still restore 12. We go up to 20. Our opponent wasn't able to deal with that card easily last time. If we heal up to 20, what are we going to do next turn? 3 to all. We're leaving 4 on board. All they need is an Evis. Here they have 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then they need to have 10 from hand as opposed to 4 from hand. So I think healing is going to be the better option here. And this also puts something on board. And then next turn we will be able to hopefully discover something else sweet and heal a little bit. Very, very emphasis on the little bit. Obviously they could just have lots of burn. They have a huge board. That's 2 damage. Uh-oh. Oh, Hex is what we needed, friends. Oh, they could actually get this back because that's a 1-cost card. And that's 7. If it's a minion, it won't fit, so that'd be nice. So this is interesting because it's great as early game tempo, right? But once you get to a little bit of the later game, kind of slows you down. I think we're going to have to combo the Alakir with the Flame Tongue next turn. We're going to have to somehow survive. Taunt or Alakir? Alakir is just going to be better, I think. I think we're really close to dead. Our opponent has tons and tons of pressure on us at this point, which I don't see how we kind of continue to push through here. I mean, they're going to have to take a really, really big half measure in order for us to survive here. Okay, they're having to use a little bit of resources on our... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, and this is how you resuscitate your Sherizan seeds. This is awful. I can't believe that. I didn't think this... I mean, the way this card works is basically the way it worked this game, right? I don't think this is a consistent... Maybe it is. Who knows? Maybe our opponent's just... What's going on here? Oh, Cold Blood. I was like, why are they thinking so long? This is lethal for sure, isn't it? At least there's no more Conceal. Oh, and they all came back. That's great. Conceal, or I mean... Into Evis? Oh, into sapping it. Perfect. We needed a Hex early game to counter this. I didn't even think that this would ever... I didn't think this card would ever be a thing. I think it's a really cool mechanic. I'm not sure it's a consistent mechanic because you need to draw this in your early game while you still have a big enough hand. And obviously with Gadgetzan, you have that option to continue refilling your hand. Oh, that's just that you know what? That's a cool learning experience. I don't mind. I mean, obviously we'd rather have won that. If we got a Hex early off, I think we would have won that game basically. But because we didn't, you know, it was able to get that crazy value off of that, just generating a 5/3 every couple turns. That was really cool. Thanks for hanging out with me, everyone. If you're enjoying these videos, feel free to hit that big old red subscribe button. I'm going to continue playtesting a whole bunch of these decks as we continue to learn a little bit more about our journey to Ungoro. Thanks for hanging out with me, everyone. Keep your stick on the ice.